Hi lovelies, and welcome to your reading all about what are people's first impressions of you, first impression of you. You can close your eyes, use your intuition, feel out the piles, which pile is really calling to you, drawing to you. It may be possible that you're feeling drawn to more than one pile. That just means that there's multiple messages here for you. And if you are not drawn to any pile, this might just not be your reading. So yeah, I have these little lip glosses from when you're a kid, these little expressions lip glosses. They're super cute. This first pile, we have a cherry lip gloss. Pile 2, we have a grape lip gloss, and pile 3 is a pineapple lip gloss. So feel them out, which one is drawing to you, calling to you, and I'll see you in the piles. Hi pile number 1, if you chose this cherry lip gloss, then this is your reading. I also pulled crystals for all the piles as well, and I was drawn to the rose quartz for you guys. Yeah, very pretty crystal. So as I was shuffling your guys' cards, I'm not fully done because I was so excited to say this. The first thing I heard was flirty and got a bag, so got that bag. So you guys might be kind of flirty. You might just have I feel like you guys have a lot of love energy. And the song that I was singing while I was shuffling was, "You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I could see, you'd understand why I want you so desperately." Pile number 1's first impressions, please. I'm not the best at shuffling tarot cards, just so you know I'm not. Okay. So I think you guys are very connected materially, like you're connected to the earth, if not with actual finances. And what's funny is that money is also green, and love, or the heart chakra, is also represented with green. And I just feel like you guys have this very good balance of self-love, self-care, like loving yourself a lot, and then also like knowing how to get things done, or like putting in the work that you know you need to put in to harvest the fruit and like get the fruits of your labor. And you're no mistake to a new beginning. Like, you're no mistake. You're no, what's the word? What's the saying? You're no fool. No, not fool. You're no new when it comes to a new beginning. Like, you know how to take new beginnings, and you know how to fall into new beginnings. You know how to trust new beginnings. And I think that a lot of people's first impression of you is that you are just so lovely. Like, you're just so lovely. Like, I feel like marriage material I'm hearing right now. But also I just feel like you have a lot of red and pink in your aura just radiating off of you, and it's very grounded as well. Like, it's a very grounded, loving energy where people are like, I just like want to wife you up. You guys have such a big heart. Oh my gosh, you guys have such a big heart, and I think people instantly recognize that about you, that you have such a big heart. You have so much love for everything, for everyone. And I think that maybe when people get on your bad side, you can turn kind of fiery. Like, you guys might have a lot of fire in your chart, or a lot of Leo. I do think that when people cross you, you are like quick to cut them off and go on to a new beginning, because you know yourself. Like, you guys really know yourselves. And I think people really like that. Like, they definitely like that about you. And I think that people might not always see that about you when they first meet you. They might kind of think that you're like really sweet and loving. And I do think that they can feel that you have a lot of passion, you have fire, but they don't think that you're gonna use it for them if they were to like not uphold your boundaries or something like that. I think that they might just kind of think that, not that you're naive, because I don't think people think you're naive, but I think that they can automatically kind of assume that you're a very loving person and that you would do anything for anyone. But I really think the truth is that you just do anything for the people you know deserve it. And I think that that is like a really good trait that people value and respect when they get to know you more. But people definitely see you as like a hard worker, I think, when they first meet you. They're like, what is this person doing? Like, what is this girl? What is this guy doing to have so much love radiating off them? Like, what is this person doing to have so much radiating off of them? And I think that they kind of automatically assume that you put in the work, that like you know how to get things done and you know how to take on new beginnings. This is funny because I feel like people realize that you are no stranger. That is the saying I was looking for earlier, that you are no stranger to a new beginning. Like, people realize that about you, and they know that you kind of trust yourself, because I feel like maybe you guys might even be a little bit more outgoing. But I feel like people can tell that you really trust yourself and you will fall into a new beginning. But if they were to do something that you wouldn't like, they don't like. A lot of people assume that you're just going to continue to be there for them, which I don't think is true. But anyway, yeah, you guys might be kind of outgoing, but I feel like it's not super extreme. I think some people, it might be like super extreme and people are like, whoa, like where is all that energy coming from? Like, where is all that energy coming from? But I also, no, honestly, I think that that is the majority of you, where people are like, where is this coming? Like, where is this coming from? But it's so grounded. I think a lot of you, the way that you express yourselves is so grounded in the way that you are social, if that makes sense. Like, you're not super like here and there and all over the place. Like, it's very grounded in this like love. You guys might speak very sensually or very slow and relaxed a lot of the time. And I think that when you get really pumped up, you can be really energetic and speak like, oh, especially when you're talking about things you love, you can just talk for hours. I feel like you guys really can talk very well. And I think that when people first meet you, they see that about you right away. Like, there's something really significant about your voice or the way you express yourself. And it feels very healing for people, I think. I think when people first meet you, if it's like a stranger that you don't even talk to, like you're just passing by on the street or something, I think they literally can have like I think they literally can have heart chakra awakenings just from hearing you or seeing you. But I feel like especially hearing you, like if someone were to hear your voice walking by, they would be like, whoa, that was so loving and like respectful. Okay, I don't want to keep these readings too long. I'm going to try and do them all about 10 or 11 minutes. But we'll see what happens. Expressive. You know what? I don't even need the tarot cards. I don't even need the tarot cards, so I'm just going to channel. Maybe that's your energy. I feel like you guys might be leaders. And when you're really passionate about something, you're like, yes, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. And when you're kind of just like in one of your relaxed moods, which I feel like most of the time you are like more relaxed, because I feel like you discipline yourself enough that you don't really have a ton of like mania is the word, like going on in your head all the time, because you guys like really know how to take charge. Like, you guys might be really good leaders and you kind of step up to the plate. And I think that you guys like stand up for people as well. I think that when there's disrespect going on, you guys know how to stand up for people. And I think that people really like that about you. Like, you may have had interactions where you were meeting a group of people for the first time, or meeting someone for the first time within a group or something, and someone like made a little snarky comment to someone and you were like, that wasn't cool, you know? Like, why did you do that? Like, think about how they're feeling. And I think that that person really appreciated that. Or there's been people who have really appreciated you standing up for them. And like, if that was their first impression of you, I think immediately people are just like tuned into your energy. And I think a lot of people will instantly wonder how you do it. Like, how you stay committed, how you stay focused on your growth and on your like trust for life. And I think a lot of you guys, like, I'm seeing, oh, this reading might be a little longer, but I love your guys' energy. I'm seeing Belle from Beauty and the Beast, but also Sleeping Beauty. Also, I see you guys like just dressed so pretty and just walking down the street like humming, singing like la 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 la. And everyone is just like, wow, like what is this energy? And it just feels so loving, and it knows where it's going, it knows what it's doing. And it's coming from such a secure, heart-centered space of like, I know where I'm going and I'm gonna love the journey. Like you guys, I feel like you really know how to love the journey, and people see that about you. I think you guys might do a lot of self-care, and that really shows when people meet you. They're like, maybe you guys smell good, like you smell good, you look good, you feel good, and you cause so many awakenings for people to the truth of reality, like to the truth of all we have is the present moment and all we have is love. And I think that you guys really awaken people to that understanding. Anything else for pile number one's first impressions? I think people might literally think you are like a book character or a movie character, or you're just a little butterfly just going in the wind, going with the sails. You guys might not get triggered by a lot of things. You're kind of just like, I trust what's going on, and people really admire that about you as well. And like, you might be going about your day, and when people like a stranger sees you, or when someone would first meet you, there may have been instances in your life where I'm seeing, for example, you're at the grocery store and all of your groceries just fall onto the floor out of the bag, and most people would be like, oh, what the heck, or what the, you know, and you're just like, okay, I'll go get more. And people are like, what is this energy? And I think a lot of people really want to be your friend. A lot of people who first meet you are like, you are so loving, I want to spend more time with you, I really want to be your friend, I want to get to know you. I think a lot of people want to get to know you, and they want to get to know your why of why you do the things that you do. And it's really intriguing for people, because I feel like people know the how, kind of like they know the how, because I feel like the way you live your life is very, it's kind of not normal, but it's very how people would assume people would reach the level of competence, is what I'm hearing, competence of love that you are. But they're like, why does she do it? Why? And I feel like for you, it's just because you're living life. You're like, I'm just a little butterfly in the wind. And I think maybe you guys have gone through different things that have shown you that this is the way that I have to be, because if I'm not this way, I might kind of fall into depression. Maybe you guys have been depressed in the past. I think maybe that you could fall into depression if you don't live your life this way. And people like love your energy, just they love it. Like I feel like a lot of people want to give you hugs. Yeah, so that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all so much. If you like this reading, you can go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. Or you could book a personal one-on-one psychic reading with me, where you can ask any questions that you have about yourself, about other people, anything under the sun that you would like to know. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye bye. Hi pile number two, if you chose this grape lip gloss, then this is your reading. I also chose crystals for all of the piles, and this was the one that I chose for you guys. I don't know what it is, but I just always use it for throat chakra, so that could be significant. And you know, actually, as I'm tapping into your energy, you guys are truth speakers. So I feel like for you guys, you have some type of creation process that really lights you up. There may be something like that. And I think that you guys have gone through things in your past that really awoken you to creating your own reality. Like you create your own reality. I think you guys are very aware of this. And I think that you guys have been told a lot of truths of the universe because you have surrendered a lot of bad emotional states and surrendered to the fact that you are involved in the creation process. And I think that that has grown a lot of stability for you in your life, emotionally and in many ways. So people's first impressions of you, I think that people can automatically see that you have the universe in your eyes. I don't know why that is coming through. I think what you speak and just your presence, people are like, what is going on in your mind? I think people are like, what is going on in your mind? Because I'm literally just seeing when people look at you, it's like they see stardust. I'm seeing stardust. And especially when people look into your eyes, I think a lot of people can maybe even kind of get intimidated by your energy, because I think that you guys have surrendered and changed so much. Like, you've created so much of who you are today that people are like, I think some people can be intimidated, and I think some people are so curious and they're like, what have you done? And I think that when you guys speak, there's a lot of power in when you speak. You guys might not speak often, but maybe some of you do, but I think that when you do speak, it holds weight and it holds significance. Like, you're that type of person that you'll be sitting in a group full of people and they're all chatting and doing small talk, talking about all this stuff, and then someone mentions something spiritual or mentions something like somewhat deep, and you just say like a little comment and people turn their heads and are like, what even made you think of that? Like, what? That is crazy. And some people are very intrigued by that. And I think that when people first meet you, they can see that there's a lot of depth hidden underneath the surface. A lot of strangers as well, like people who just see you on the street or see you like in the grocery store. I don't know why I wanted to say library. People who like see you in the library. You guys might like the library, you like books or something. When people, like strangers who see you, they can take one look at you and see that you are connected to something. And I think that it's very intriguing to people. What else is coming through? Your presence is so powerful. Oh my gosh. I think that you are the type of person that can shift the energy in the room to a very awakened place. Like, when you walk into a room, people can feel the difference that's taken place. Like, whether it's like people who are first meeting you or will just pass you by in the street. When you walk in somewhere, people who don't know you will turn around because they can feel that energy, and they turn around, they're like, something smells like something is in the air, something smells different, something feels different. That's what it feels like. That's the energy. I think that maybe you guys practice a lot of meditation, possibly, or your guides are wanting to practice more meditation. But I think that you walk into a room and people settle. They settle and they start looking clearer at things, and they start noticing the details. And I think that that's the kind of energy that you give off as well. When you're in a conversation with someone, you guys might just kind of be, even if you don't feel relaxed on the inside, I think that this is the way that people perceive you, is that you just look very relaxed and just happy to be here, but also like ready to speak knowledge. And I think that you guys kind of do it unconsciously. You don't even realize that you're doing it, but people are really impacted by the things that you say. And I think that you could be one of those people where you're like an angel or a guide for people. You just randomly meet someone for a day and you say one little phrase that you've said to probably thousands of other people, or to thousands of times to yourself, and they take that in and that impacts them, and they go on for like weeks or months just thinking about that. Like, and they're thinking about how it really changed their perspective. This is crazy. Oh my God, you guys are so connected to the universe. What? I think you guys are so tapped in. I literally just had that feeling of when people first meet you, like the same feeling that people have. It's just elevation. It feels heightened. It feels like, slow down and see who you're being. Like, that is what people feel when they first meet you. And it really allows a lot of people to get out of their head and get into their body. And from that perspective, then the thoughts that are coming into their head are more connected to the universe. Like, you guys channel a lot of things for people. Whether you realize it or not, you channel a lot of information for people that someone needed. Like, I think you guys are literally sent to places for people to understand a different perspective. Like, you guys have meetings with other people's higher selves. Like, they're like, okay, you're gonna come awaken me at 1 o'clock. Like, this higher self is like, I don't even know who you are. And your higher self is like, okay. Other people's higher selves are like, I want your energy, and I know that we're gonna be in approximately the same place in a few hours. Do you think you could take this other way to the road? Or do you think you could take this other way home? Or do you think that you could stop at the grocery store and we can meet? And then your higher self is like, okay. And then you meet, and this person's energy is changed for the rest of the day. And it really, I think when people meet you, they put their fears and their negative energies to the side for a minute. They kind of put it to the side, and they're like, I'm just gonna be here now with you. And for some people who aren't willing to look at themselves, I think that your energy can be kind of intimidating, because you guys just hold truth in your voice, in your eyes, in your stare, in your appearance. You guys might be kind of like stoic. You guys might kind of have a stoic appearance. You might be tall, or just have a very elegant looking body or something like that. And that is another thing that people really notice about you, is like, you are just so put together. You know what you're talking about. And yeah, like I was saying, I think that kind of can be intimidating for some people who aren't willing to look at themselves, because they look into your eyes and they see the entire universe, and they're like, I'm a little scared. And you kind of might say some things that are a little unpredictable at times, or that are just like cut to the point, cut to the chase, right to the depth of it. And people are like, whoa, I don't normally communicate like that. And it's kind of shocking for some people. And I think that you cause a lot of awakenings in people, for sure. What else is coming through, Spirit? This is kind of random, but I think that some of you guys might not think you're good at public speaking or debate. But I think that you would be so good at it. Like, you would be so good at debate or public speaking, where you know what you're talking, like, because you guys give off the energy that you know what you're talking about. And I think that you guys would be really good debaters. That's just a little side note. Maybe that's something that people think about you. They're like, people might kind of assume that you're a leader, or you're in a leadership position in what you do, or that you know how to draw in a crowd and like win arguments, or like win philosophical discussions or something like that. People might kind of think that you're someone, you guys might be kind of hard to reach. People might kind of feel like it's hard for them to fully understand who you are, because they're just seeing from a universal perspective when they look at you. And I think that really who you guys are is that you are kind of a universal perspective. I think that you guys have a lot of different personalities and personas that you've picked up on in life, and now you're kind of at a place where you're like, I'm just the universe, and I change depending on where my energy is called, and I change depending on who I'm around. Or like, you don't change depending on who you're around, because I feel like you're always kind of in the same energy, but I think that it can take on different forms depending on who you're around, because you know how to tap in and shift the energy of a room. I think that you guys literally go places, you take on the energy of what it is, you alchemize it, and you give it back to that person. And people don't even realize that you're doing that, and they're kind of just looking at you. I think that people might, when they're in conversations with you, not listen to what you say. Whoa, a huge bird just flew by. They might not always listen to every detail you're saying, because they're kind of like lost in your energy and how powerful your presence is. And then and how stoic you are. Stoic, elegant. I don't know why those words are coming to mind, but they're kind of like lost in your eyes, like what you're saying, and then all of a sudden you say something and it brings them back to reality and they're like, whoa, where was I? And I think that you literally alchemized them during that process. Like you gave them like a Kundalini awakening. Like I was doing this, so I felt like it was the Kundalini. Anyway, I don't want to make this reading too long, so I think that I'm gonna end it here. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, you can go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal one-on-one psychic reading with me where you can ask anything you have questions about your own life and someone else's life, whatever it may be, you can go ahead and click the link in my YouTube bio and that'll take you to my website where you can book a reading there. I hope that you enjoyed this little video reading and I hope that I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye. Hi Pile 3, if you chose this pineapple lip gloss, then this is your reading. I also chose crystals for all the piles, and so this is the one I chose for you. I actually already filmed this reading. If you watched another pile and you're watching this reading as well, that's why I'm in different clothes, because I already filmed this, but apparently I filmed it in slow motion and without sound, so I'm redoing it. So I don't know if that's relevant for someone. Maybe someone needs to slow down, or there's something about slowness or muteness going on. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe also the reading I did before wasn't as relevant as the one now. So everything happens for a reason, right? Anyway, instantly I'm picking up that you guys are a very confident person. You are someone who, whether you feel you're very confident or not, I think when people first see you, there's an air of confidence around you, and I feel like when people first meet you or they first speak to you, or even just see you from far away, like, you guys are one of those people that I think people can spot from far away because you're easygoing and you're laid back. I feel like you guys might be kind of easygoing and laid back, but what I was going to say is that I think when people first meet you, they can instantly kind of tell that you're secure in yourself, that they feel at least that there's a security about you. And what's funny actually is when I look into your energy, I feel like you guys, you don't like to have nothing going on. I feel like you guys are the type of people where you're always wanting to go on to the next adventure. You're always wanting to see the next thing, the next opportunity, the next way that you can help yourself and others. I feel like you guys are definitely givers, but you're also like adventurers. And I feel like the way that you give is very adventurous. You're like, I think you guys are that type of friend that's like, let's go to this theme park 3 hours away tomorrow or something, like that kind of vibe. I think there's a lot of Sagittarius energy in this pile. If you guys are Sagittarius, you have Sagittarius in your chart, that might be relevant. But something that I'm picking up is that when people first meet you, they might kind of feel like their lives are lacking inspiration, or like their lives need a boost of the serotonin that you provide. Like they need to take that on. And I think what you guys do for a lot of people is you show people that life doesn't have to be so the same all the time. It doesn't have to be so routine and so this is how it is. And maybe you guys come from that kind of place. Like maybe you've transformed that from yourself. Maybe you guys have seen a lot of obstacles and limitations in your way and like discontent and all of this. And you guys have really transformed that, and you've transformed it into a more joyful expression. Now you're like, I have to be in joy. I think you guys are very joyful people, and people see that again when they first meet you. And it's like, I feel like people feel this essence of, how do I have more joy in my life? How do I not be so bored? How do I overcome these limitations? Because I think you guys are very good at helping people overcome their limitations. Whether you are consciously realizing that you do that for people or not, I think when people are in your energy, they feel like they can overcome limitations. And I think that you show them that in a very joyful way, in a very confident way, in a very, like, let's just go on this adventure and let's just do it. And that doesn't mean that you guys don't have your fair share of like doubts, But I think that in this is a total side note, I think that in this life you guys are learning how to overcome that and step more into your joy and live more in joy. Because I think that's a big part of your guys' purpose, and I think that that's something you really realize and have begun to recognize about yourselves. Because I think that in past experiences of your life personally, there's been a lot of times where you've just kind of given in to the roadblocks of your life and just kind of lived in that space. And I think that it caused a lot of friction in your life because a big thing you're learning is how to live in joy. Yeah, and this was something that came through the first time I read this, is that when people first meet you, they think you are like naturally lucky or gain a lot of opportunities or attention in some way. And I think that that comes to you guys because I think that you do. Like you guys are the type of person where people will just randomly walk up to you and then all of a sudden you have an opportunity, or you'll just like be walking in the grocery store or something and all of a sudden like you bump into someone that you knew and you have like a really good conversation, or like I feel like you guys find opportunities in ways that are really of service to you in some way. And I think people recognize that about you. Like people could just be watching you from afar in a store or something, right? And someone just randomly walks up to you and you're like having a conversation with them and that person walks away. And I think this person who's like viewing that interaction is like, that's so weird. They just had like such a meaningful conversation with that stranger or whatever. Like they just got that opportunity from that stranger. Like what is going on? Like what their business partners now? Like what's going on? And like, by the way, my hair's not fully dry. So it kind of, I don't know if it like looks weird. I think it looks okay, but it's not fully dry. Just so you know. Maybe for some of you guys, you don't care a lot. Not that you don't care a lot about your appearance, but you're just kind of one of those people where it's just like, oh, just put this on. Like I feel like you guys, you don't take things that seriously. Like maybe you guys go out with not fully dried hair or something, or people see you as that way when they first meet you, I think. Like I feel like people see you as, when they first meet you, they see you as kind of relaxed. Yeah, cool guy, cool girl energy I was really picking up. It's just like kind of like this relaxed vibe, like I'm just going with the flow, going on these adventures, whatever I'm called to, I'm gonna go to. And I feel like that's how you guys get a lot of opportunities. That's what I was saying, is I feel like in the past you didn't do that and it caused a lot of friction in your mental mind, and you also felt very trapped and limited in your life. But I think as you tap into this joy, as you've been tapping into this joy, I think for a lot of you, you've realized like, I have to live in joy. I have to live in this like laid back kind of lifestyle, because otherwise I get so wrapped up in the obstacles and challenges of life. But when I live in this more joyful state, like opportunities come to me. And so this is kind of what I was saying, is that I feel like when people first meet you, they think that you are just like a easygoing, like has always had everything they want. I think some people kind of think that you've always just been this way and you've always gotten everything you want. You've always been such a joyful, happy person. People maybe kind of assume that you have had an easier life. But I think that there are some people who can see your depths when they first meet you. And I think that that's because they've explored their own depths as well. There's also people when they first meet you who like can see through your I want to say your facade, but what you do isn't a facade. It's a part of your personality, but I feel like they see through like into whether it's your childhood or just your past, or like the deeper parts of yourself, because I feel like you guys have very two distinct parts of yourself. You have this very like, I'm going with the flow, I'm adventurous, I know who I am, I'm confident, and I'm going with it, and I'm doing it, and I'm taking action, and I'm bold. And then you also have this other side of yourself that's very like in your head and kind of emotional, but I'm seeing it's like emotion from a logic-based perspective. I don't know if that is something you guys resonate with, where like you guys, this pal really reminds me of someone I know. This was what I said the first time too when I made it, but like maybe you guys, you kind of come at things logically, but there's also emotion there, if that makes sense. I don't know, like it's not like you guys like get so deep in your feelings, but like you think about your feelings, like you try to understand your feelings, and that has maybe gotten you in darker paths or in darker roads in your life. And I think that there are certain people, when they first meet you, they can kind of see that your happiness and your like ability to feel lucky or abundant or like joy or adventurous spirit doesn't just come from always having that. Like I feel like some people can see when they first meet you that there is an underlying suspect of tales going on that you don't share to everyone. It's something I don't think you guys share to everyone because you've realized that it's not something you need to share to everyone. But I think that when you guys make deep and meaningful connections, you're really willing to share that because it's something that's really always been like dear to you. And I think it's something you continuously go through and come out the other side of into what your purpose is. I also feel like you guys are really good at telling jokes. Like you could be really good comedians, and I think people see that about you when they first meet you as well, as like this person's just really funny. Like this person is just kind of out there. Like maybe sometimes you guys say, the word that's coming to mind is preposterous. Like maybe sometimes you guys say kind of preposterous. I'm not even sure exactly what that means. But preposterous things, like things that are just kind of like, whoa, that's really out there. But a lot of people think it's really funny. There might be some people who are like, who there might be some people who think you guys need to be like more respectful in certain situations. But that's like because they think that everything has to be so prim and proper. Because I think you guys' energy is just really laid back and cool. And I think a lot of people are like amazed at how you kind of do your own thing, or it's seemingly like you do your own thing. Because I think what's weird is that what I feel like for a lot of you, the actual internal of what goes on in your mind isn't very representative of how people first view you. Because I think when people first view you, they see you in this way, and then as they get to know you, they start to see like more of your anxieties or more of like just like the deeper parts about yourself. And they start to see you as even more chill, but chill where you don't need to put on a persona. Like I don't think you guys put on a persona when you go out, but I think that as soon as you start to have a conversation with someone, it's like something gets turned on in you where like almost like a showstopper version of yourself comes out, where it's like, I'm out there, I'm talking about like adventurous stuff, I'm talking about stuff that is like heightened. Like I feel like you guys can just go right into a conversation that's heightened, if that makes sense. Like talking about different things that are going on in the world with a really cool perspective, like unique perspective that people really value and appreciate when they first meet you. And then I think as people get to know you, they start to see that you're kind of normal. You're kind of like you also think about normal things, and you also think about your own life and deep things, because also maybe you guys don't share a lot of your life when you first meet people, but you share your perspective on life, if that makes sense. Like you share your perspective on what you presume life to be, but you don't always share kind of your exact life until people know you more. And so people just kind of view you as like, I'm hearing the word ultimate, like the all, if that makes sense, like the all encompassing of like chill. Yeah, I hope this makes sense. This is like kind of all over the place, but yeah. Something else I was channeling in the last time that I did this that I feel is also coming through right now is something about your guys' smile or laugh is very childlike. Like your guys' energy is very childlike, especially when you first meet someone. So there might be something about your smile that people like, something about your laugh, right, that just kind of brings them into like childhood and like play. Like I think people really want to play in your energy as well, and they want to add more play to their lives through being in your energy, and especially when they first meet you. And this is what I wanted to say as well, is I think if you guys haven't seen someone for a while, or like it's your first meeting with this person, but you're going to be spending like the weekend with them, or like a week with them, or like a day with them, or whatever. It's like when you first meet someone, even if you already know them, whether it's a stranger or it's like a friend, when you first meet them, you have a ton of energy to give. You guys conserve your energy when you're alone, I feel like, maybe, and then when you come out, it's like the instant you pop out, it's like ready to go. I wanted to say the word heavy, but not like heavy, but just like it's ready to go, you know? But then as the day progresses, or as the week progresses, or as the time progresses with that person you're spending time with, you start to like chill more, or become more entranced in outside reality. Because I think at first you're just like ready to connect and like be there and be in the moment with the person. Then kind of as the time goes on, you're more like thinking about your own life and introspective. I feel like you guys are also very introspective people, but people don't necessarily see that about you when they first meet you. They just kind of think you're all encompassed in the outside reality, which is funny because it's almost like, I don't want to say the opposite, but the way you're encompassed in outside reality is very much with the person and just like the few things that are around you and this person. It's like you can very much hone in on that. And then you become introspective as time goes on, and you might kind of even be, for some of you, you might be in your head while you're kind of encompassing yourself in this vicinity. If that, I hope that makes sense. But like, people don't see you in that way when they first meet you. They definitely, I think they see you as like knowing how to level up and get there with people. And I think people just see you as a really good communicator. I don't know if you see that about yourself, but people definitely see you in this way. And I think that if like a random person, I think I talked about this before, but like there's some random people that have been in your vicinity before that spot you from so far away because of the way you're conversating with people. Like you guys also might be a type of person where it's like you walk in and you're just kind of doing your own thing, but then as soon as you start conversating, then it's like, right, that like spark gets turned on. Anyway, I'm gonna end the reading here because this has gone really long and I have like a minute left on my camera. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you can go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me where you can ask any questions, you can go ahead and click the link in my YouTube bio. That will take you to my website where you can book a psychic reading with me, and we can get into all the juicy things about your life, anything you want to know. Yeah, so I love you all so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.